Hi guys, we're going to look at the second part of the investigation today. What we've got here is our pendulum. So what we're investigating is the height of that. Key information we're looking at is trying to compare two graphs. Alright, so the information I gave you was we're trying to compare two graphs, so to see if the length of the pendulum changes the period, or if the height that you let the pendulum go changes the period. Alright, so the two things we're investigating that you're trying to find. So the first thing we'll need to do is open up Tracker, and then the next thing you're going to need to do is open a video up. So you're going to import a video, and I might bring in Justin's one over here, so we'll let that load up. So the key thing with the Tracker is, I don't want to zoom, I just want to go to fit. So let's play the movie. Alright, just stop there. Alright, so what we're going to do is move that back to where that was just about released. Right, so it's just released there. If we drag the black thing in there in the corner, that will be the start of the video. If we play the video, it just shows you the motion. We're probably going to expect our pendulum to get less and less and less as we go down, right, in terms of it won't go as high due to conservation of energy, but that looks like it's swinging pretty good. Now, if we wanted to stop our video at any particular point, we just drag that black point in, and that will actually do that for us as well. The next thing we want to do is we want to set a calibration stick. Now, you can change the colour so you can see it, but I'm not going to worry about doing that. Hopefully you can see the little blue. So all we have to do there is drag our calibration stick to the length of the actual ruler there, and drag it down there. Now I don't think it's quite a metre, but I'm going to call it a metre here. So that's 100. So click on there. I'm going to change that to 1. So now it's everything's in actually metres. Alright, that's the units we're using. The next thing I need to do is I need to insert a point mass. Okay, so I'm going to do a new point mass. Okay, and that will give me one thing over here. Click on that, and what we want to do is we want to do an auto track. Okay, so if we click over here, right, so auto track our point. Now I'll probably bring that down the bottom here a little bit. So we have to go our shift and control key and point on the point that we want auto track. Okay, and that's there. So if we go search, we'll track that, and then what we do, because obviously it's now not found the point, so what we have to do is again control click, find the point. Get the idea? Let's stop there. Oh. So go back to this point over here. Okay, we have to control shift again. Alright. Control shift again. Control shift again. Control shift again. You're going to keep doing that until it's actually tracking that well. Alright. So you want to go maybe to the center of your object. Control shift again. Control shift again. So you keep doing that until it's basically done its cycle. And you might even have to try this a few times. You can see it's sort of tracking quite well there. It's lost it again. Control shift. The alternative is to, if you want to do that, is to do this manually. You can see it's auto tracking that really well now. Okay, so if I was doing this again, I'd probably want to maybe start doing that motion again, right? Because it's, you know, I want to get nice smooth curves. As you can see, that's how it's working there. All right, so you get the idea. You can play around with that. Now I'm just going to, I can stop that anytime I like. But anyway, this is about showing you how to do the process, not everything. And right, so obviously the last bit's not worked. I've got a couple of full cycles in there. Remembering I'm wanting a number of full cycles. So what I need to do now is copy that data. Okay, so if I just go Control C, copy that, go into Excel, and then I can paste that data in here. And what I've got is my time, my X value, and my Y value. What I'll do is paste it again. So now I can delete my X value there, delete, and then I've got my things I can graph. Now if I'm going to graph my data, what I can do is highlight the data I've got there. Well, yeah, scroll down too far. Escape. Right. Mouse is playing up a little bit. So anyway, so probably easy going to the bottom and dragging up. So you want to highlight the X and the time. Now, if you think about what we've got here, right? We've got time versus X. So that's the X coordinate, horizontal distance. And what we can do is we can insert a graph over here. And you can even do, no, it's playing up again, like it did in class. Bring my Excel in. Just paste it in there. So if I'm wanting to graph this here, okay, I insert my graph over here, and you can see that I've got my model there. Now that's my X coordinate, so that's my horizontal. We would be expecting our horizontal period to be a half of the actual vertical period. So I could do the same thing again, but I could do that with my my vertical. So that would be my Y coordinates. I can track that. Considering my curve, what my pendulum does, it goes up and down. If you press Control button now, and you can highlight the Y coordinates and insert and a scatter graph, and you can see that over there is going to be the red bit. Let's get rid of that data. You can see the period is going to be double what the other one is. Alright, so they've got the red there, and we've got the other curve down the bottom there, which was for the X coordinates. Alright, so you expect the period to be twice that. Now, the key thing here again is a bit like what we did in part A. It's all about modelling the curve. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to find exactly a curve that fits that particular model. And once you've done that, then you can compare obviously the two different graphs that you've got to see whether the period has changed of our function, or whether that's the main thing, is the period, isn't it? If our period of our particular curve does change with the length of the chord or the height that it's actually released from. Now, obviously the height's going to change the amplitude of the wave. It might not change the period though. So they're the sort of things that you're going to do. Obviously the length of the string is going to increase the period of the wave as well, or the height of the wave, but it might not change the period of the wave, or it might. And that's what you're going to be investigating with that. Anyway, there is the video that I showed you in class also on the auto tracker, which is quite good. When you get it going really well, this is a bit dodgy, the one I've just done here, but when you do that quite well, it actually does look really good. And just a bit of playing around with that. I think this is the one I actually did first time, and I did get some really good grasp with that. So the other thing is you can also do again some print screens. Print screens are really good because they show you exactly what's going on. So remember, I'm going to graph this bit here. So for this part here, I increase my thing to there, and then I'm simply playing that, and you can see that models the curve really well as I go through. Okay, and then I've got some quite good data. So that's actually a very, very good model. Notice the peak is not going quite as high, okay, each time. That's to do with obviously a little bit of loss of energy there that you can talk about as well. The key thing with any investigation is to be able to do the calculations and then talk about what actually affects the pendulum itself. So do we have some air resistance occurring there? What are some of the little things that you have to consider when you're trying to model that? Are there any limitations? Do you have to try and do the line of best fit? Do you have to go a little bit above, a little bit below sometimes? Those are the sort of things that you need to consider when you're doing your investigation. Now, once you've done your calculations, I'd like to see them. And then when you've done a draft, what I'll do is I'll have a look at your completed investigation as a draft. I'll give you some feedback and I'll give that back to you, and then you'll have a week to get that finished off and submitted to me once I've given you the feedback for that. Alright, so if you've got any questions, you need to make sure that you get in contact with me as well. Alright, or you need to maybe ask someone else who's doing an investigation as well, because they might be able to help you. So, alright, good luck.